Hey, what is up, everybody? This is the Great Punkatini, and what I got for you today is we're going to break down how these Arkansas Razorbacks are going to beat these Arizona Wildcats. I've been telling you guys that I'm going to give you the blueprint, and I'm going to tell you how they're going to do it. And I'm going to start off just telling you, Arizona's a good team, but they're really good, and but Arkansas is really good as well. So my title is here. I'm asking you, will Hogs advance? Or is Arizona, are they just too big for us? Because Arizona's got a lot of size. They make a lot to do about their big 7-footer they have on, 7'2" Crevis, but 7'2", 6'10", 6'11", hey, not a lot of difference there. But there is some difference. But anyway, and I'm going to tell you how I think we're going to give them fits and how Arkansas can win. Because I guarantee you, I think they can win. I know they can win. And I've got the blueprint right here. So let's check it out and let's see what's going to happen, or what I want to happen for sure. Now, first off, before I get into all these stats and everything, I just want to make one thing clear. Strength of schedule. I think your strength of schedule means a whole lot. I think back to the college football season. Look at Arkansas' strength of schedule. It's like top five. Give them a schedule maybe in the 40th rank or something. They would have won some of those games they lost. They would have been better. I truly believe that, guys. Listen, I coached for a long time. I was a head coach, football, basketball. I wasn't a head varsity coach of basketball, but I assisted for a long time, girls and boys. I was head softball coach. It matters who you play, okay? If I go and play a bunch of chumps and I got a pretty decent team, I'm going to win them. I'm going to win all of them. When I was a head football coach, my 3 non-conference games, I tried to get teams that I knew I could win because we played in such a tough conference. You're going to win much. That's kind of the way Arkansas is in football. We need to play the easiest guys we can find during that non-conference schedule because we're going to play a hell of a schedule in the SEC. So your strength of schedule matters. It matters a lot. Arizona, they're 34-2. They only got beat 2 times this year. But listen, their strength of schedule is in the top 15 to 25. You can't really find a good, an exact number on that, or I never could. But what I could best see was about 15th to 25th, okay? Well, guess what? We're down to 16 teams, right? There's no more 25 best teams left. We're the top 16. So, if you're not playing those kind of teams, you're not used to playing those kind of teams night in and night out. Now, that don't mean you're not good. You can still be really good, not play anybody. But, Arkansas is definitely in that top 16. Now, so Arkansas is 28-8, but look at their strength of schedule. They played the top 5 through 10 is where their schedule was ranked, okay? So they're 28-8, 30 versus 34-2. Arkansas is kind of like that pencil that's been used quite a bit. Arizona's kind of like that big, tall, pretty pencil. The eraser's still perfect. It looks good. Arkansas is kind of that pencil that's been used. The eraser's a little bit gone. It's been sharpened a bunch because they played some dogs, and Arkansas is full of hogs now. But anyway, Arkansas has been in that dogfight. They've played the best teams in the country, and they're played one of the top schedules in the country. So keep that in mind as we look at these stats, because, hey, if Arkansas played some of these people that Arizona did, their stats will be better too, okay? So I think Arkansas is more battle tested, and I think that right there gives us a little bit of advantage too. Now, so let's get into it here. So team overviews, you look at Arkansas, we average 90 points per game. Arizona only averages 86 points per game. I say only, that's a lot of points. But Arkansas averages more points than they do. Field goal percentage is probably a draw, 50 to 50. And I'm going to say, excuse me, I'm just coming over the flu, and so I'm going to try not to cough your head off. And then three-point percentage, I think, is another key. Arkansas shoots right at 39%, whereas Arizona only shoots 36%. And now 35 is always kind of the cutoff that I always said is a good. If you'll shoot over 35, that's a good three-point shooting team. And Arizona's just at 36. They got a lot of guys that shoot a lot of threes, but don't have very good percentages. Arkansas has probably 3 guys. We got Acuff, we got Thomas, and then Brazil. Billy can get hot sometimes. Wagner can sometimes, but those 3, Acuff, Thomas, and Brazil, really the 3 we want shooting. Rest of them don't even shoot a lot of threes. But Arizona will take a lot. They'll shoot a lot of threes, and we need to get them to shoot more threes. And then the free throw shooting, Arkansas is at 75, Arizona's at 73. So, the stats are really close here. The big one being Arkansas scores more. And three-point shooting percentage, I think, if we're disciplined and shoot the ones we should shoot, we'll outperform them there too. So, Arkansas, I say better shooting. Might should have been, better scoring team. Arizona, they say, has a better defense, through stats. But you got to think back to the strength of schedule as well, okay? There's no 17 to 25 teams left. This is top 16, okay? So, yeah, none of that's left. All right, here we go. So, offensive efficiency, this stuff here, Arizona, they give them a 124. That's a top 5 number. Arkansas is 119, which is top 15. Now, how is that? Arkansas scores more points than they do. That KenPom rankings. I don't understand them a whole lot. But anyway, Arizona, they say they're more efficient per possession. Arkansas scores more. They score more points, but they say Arizona's more efficient. I don't know. Whatever. So I guess they're saying if Arizona can slow us down, they're more efficient, so they'll score more than we do, maybe, by these rankings, whatever, But anyway, we can slow them down more too and turn out our way, So either way there. So if offenses are both really good. Both of them are really good, okay? Now, defensive efficiency, Arizona, this is where they try to say, boy, they're an elite half-court defense. They're pretty good. They have a top 5 adjusted defensive ranking there in KenPom. Arkansas is a top 25 to 40. We've always known Arkansas is not the best defense in the world, but the thing they do have is they have size, length. They have athletes, athletic ability. Couldn't say it. So something that's a lot that Arizona's probably not seen as much of. Just like High Point had not seen that much. Hawaii had definitely not seen the kind of athletes that we have. And I remember when Eric Musselman, talked about it when he was come from out west, and he said when we beat Gonzaga was a 1 seed back a couple years ago, and he said, well, I knew that we had better athletes than they did, that our athletes were going to give them trouble, and it turned out they did. We really slowed Gonzaga down, and they struggled offensively, and I think Arkansas can do the same thing to Arizona, do the same exact thing. Arizona's not used to seeing type of athletes we have. We have the same type of athlete or better than them at every position. I just hope we don't have 6. I hope we have 7. I hope Pringle can play, and Knox. Some people I've been hearing that he could play, but I would think he would need some practice time before you throw him in there. I'd love to have him. Man, he'd be a great weapon to have right now. But I don't see that happening. But I'd love to have Pringle in there. That'd be just another big man to have. But anyway, so Arizona does, by numbers, have an elite half-court defense. Okay, but we don't. Arkansas, though, our offensive efficiency says that we can score in the half court and full court. So we can score either way, and we can. Watch how we put the game away at High Point. How Acuff, get that last 3 minutes, Acuff can take over. He's kind of like our running game in football. Kind of like that closing pitcher, I was talking about that in the video I put up last night about how we beat High Point. But anyway, they do say Arizona has a little bit better defensive efficiency. I will give them that maybe, but Arkansas's played a lot tougher schedule though, guys, too. Remember, strength of schedule, okay? That means a lot. Go back and look at the teams that are in the playoff. I mean, those teams all played, their strength of schedules were all really high. That's how they got there. That's how they got undefeated. And I thought that was going to end up hurting Indiana, and it almost did. Miami just about come back and won that game. But anyway, strength of schedule is very important. Very important. Rebounding rate. Some Arizona, they say they're at 54%. I think that means they get 54% of the available rebounds, something like that. Arkansas is at 50, so they're right below them. So Arizona has controlled the boards, but Arkansas' size and athleticism is going to give them some fits. I'm going to tell you right now, because they hadn't played many. Billy Richmonds, who's 6'6", that can move around like him. Brazil, 6'10", that can move, and and Ewan. Those guys are long and tall and they can move. They haven't played a lot of guys like that. They just haven't. And then Acuff can get there and get about 3 or 4 rebounds a game. Thomas can get a couple rebounds a game. Wagner at 6'4" and come in and rebound some, so They just have not seen our size and athleticism that we're going to have. That's going to hurt them, and that's going to kind of reconfigure some of these stats that they show when they talk about Arizona. Arizona does have great stats, but have they played? I know they haven't played as good of a schedule as we have. So you kind of have to figure out how that's going to work. I think our athletes will give them a lot of fits and turn some of these stats in our favor, for sure. So we need Richmond, Brazil, and you, and we need them to control the boards. We got to win at rebounding rate, because remember, when we rebound, that starts our offense. We get to push and get to scoring points the way we want to. Now, and here's the key to winning the glass. Here's how we're going to do that. First of all, we got to limit the offensive rebounding. Arizona, that's one of the things they're really good at. And under 10, I think I read that somewhere. I did a lot of research, and one number said, if you limit a good rebounding team to under 10, that was really good. We just got to win the defensive glass. We can't give them offensive rebounds. We do. That's when, they get that rebound, they kick it out for a big three, or they get something always bad happens. It's kind of like in baseball, walks and hits, those equal runs, And anyway, and plus we got to box out that big 7'2" Krivas, He's a big guy. He moves a little bit, but he don't move any better than you or Brazil. And he's not going to be used to that. Somebody as big as him that can move, He's not going to be used to that. But you are going to have to box him out, keep him behind you, because you're not going to be able to rebound over the top of him. Okay, so you are going to have to stay in front of him. Our guards have to get in and rebound too. You might tell Darius or Malik, one of them, whichever one's close to the half court, you can kind of snowbird a little bit. All the four rest of you got to get here and rebound. And as soon as we get it, let's sprint. Billy, get on the wing. A-Cuff, get out there. Thomas, let's run, And so we got to turn those rebounds into transition. So we got to control the glass. Got to control the glass, and then keep Arizona out of the paint. No paint touches. Keep them out of the lane, making them shoot from outside, and then turn those rebounds into transition. Now, here's a table here. I just like to show you kind of how the sizes, how we match up with size. And you look here, kind of the point guard. I think Bradley's kind of their point guard. He's one of the guards. A-Cuff's 6'3", he's 6'3". Thomas is 6'5". Burries is 6'4". Now, Burries is their leading scorer, and he's, about the size of Thomas. Thomas should be able to cover him, give him some fits, slow that down, Now, Krenchnikov here in Richmond, they're about 6'6", 6'7". They have about the same stats, so they should kind of cancel each other out a little bit. Billy, I think, would have a little bit more athletic ability. Can maybe outrun him down the floor a little bit. Brazil and Pete, 6'10" to 6'8". Ewan, 6'10". To Krivas is 7'2". Now, Krivas is 10 and 8. He averages about 2 blocks a game. Brazil, is better than Pete here at 13, and then 7 to his 5. So, but anyway, see the sizes are all pretty much the same. Krivas is a little bit taller than Ewan, but Ewan is long, and he can move, I would really take Ewan over him, to be absolutely honest with you. Size is good if he can move and play. And then you get down here, Wagner and Del Oroso. Now, this Awaka guy does scare me a little bit. He's 6'8". He's a bigger body, wider body. He averages 9 and 9. And he comes off the bench, and he's a pretty good-sized guy. He could give us some fits, get in there and push us around a little bit. We got to be real physical with him. Keep him blocked out. Don't let him get in there and get a lot of offensive rebounds. He's one that could. I'm more worried about him than Krivas, to be honest with you, as far as rebounding, because he's a little bit bigger body, bigger, stronger guy, like a big power forward. So we got to really. That's why we really need Pringle. Love to be able to get him in there and play and bang with that guy. And but anyway. That's kind of how we match up. I think we match up really well with them as far as size, and that's something Arizona's not going to be used to. They're not used to be our size. They're not going to be used to that and our athletic ability. Now, like I said, Arizona lost 2 games this year. Okay, they lost one to Kansas, and then they lost to Texas Tech. And I'm going to break those down and show you how that happened. Now, first off, how did Kansas beat Arizona? Well, first of all, they went 21 of 25 from the free throw line. 25 is a lot of free throws versus Arizona's 8 of 14. So it was a plus 13 for them. Okay. Now, and that fits Arkansas' system, right? Spread the floor out. Acuff drive the basket. Malik can drive the basket. Billy can drive the basket. Then draw fouls. Okay. Make Arizona shoot from outside the paint. Make them shoot jump shots. Do not foul them. Okay. Do not foul them. Let them shoot it. Hand in your face. We're as tall as they are. We should be able to, distract them a little bit there. Now, so that should work fine in our system right there. Arizona shot 37% in the second half versus Kansas. Now, they really only got 3 good three-point shooters. They have guys that'll shoot a lot of threes, but only got 3 that are over that 35%. And they're Burris, that's their leading scorer, their shooting guard. Bradley, their point guard, kind of. And then Aristote is that he's like 6'7" guy. They're 3 pretty good three-point shooters. Okay, now, so we need to know where they are. Don't come off of them. Stay on those guys. The rest of them, we can let them shoot the 3. But do not let them get in the lane. No paint points. Okay? Keep them off free throw line. Make them shoot from outside, and they will do it. Arizona will shoot from outside. They'll be okay with it. But they also won't try to get the basket. Their coach is going to be wanting them to get to the basket too. So, and then Kansas had the more aggressive offense. And remember, Kansas just got knocked out too of the tournament. So anyway, and then they won late execution. And hey, remember, how do we win? Close game or at the end, what do? We start giving the ball to Acuff. Let him go one-on-one, make his own offense, We started doing that, I think, with 3 minutes left versus High Point. And Arkansas done that several times this year. When it gets down to the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, give it to Acuff, let him go one-on-one, create offense, spread the floor. So I think that how Kansas beat Arizona works really well with us. I think that fits us. Getting to the line, shooting free throws, and then winning that late execution, keeping them out of the lane. No paint points. Keep them out of the lane. And then I think they can do that. Arkansas can do that for sure. Now, how did Texas Tech beat them? Well, look at this. So Texas Tech made 11 three-point baskets. Now, we're not by percentage, we shoot 39%. We really want 3 guys shooting it. That's Acuff, Thomas, and Brazil. Billy, did go 1 of 1 versus High Point. We just don't want him shooting a whole bunch. If it's in rhythm, maybe hits 1 or 2, he can get hot. And Arizona only hit 4. So like I say, Arizona is not the best three-point shooting team. They only shoot 36%, but they'll shoot them now. They'll shoot them. And you can get hot and have a big-time game, of course. But we want Acuff, Thomas, or Brazil shooting the threes. But we don't want to shoot any more than 21. 21 is kind of our average. We don't want to shoot more than that unless we get really hot, unless we get really hot. And then space. And how Texas Tech also, they spaced out their defense. They stretched them. You have those big guys, 7'2", stretch him, get him away from the basket. And here's what I put down. You shoot the 3 or you drive hard the basket. Draw a foul with an and 1, or kick it for an open 3. That's what you're looking for a lot of times on offense. First you try to drive hard the basket. If you can't get there, kick it, shoot an open shot. Take the 3 first if you got it, Acuff, whoever, But we got to stretch them, space the offense. We don't want that 7'2" guy standing on the basket blocking shots. And I just say that in my next one. Don't let the 7-footer stand under the basket. He averages about 2 blocks a game. So we got to keep him away from the basket. Got to keep him moving. Brazil, Acuff, Ewan is not going to stretch him much. Acuff can Ewan can get around the free throw line, plays pretty good around there. And, draw him up to the free throw line and let Acuff and them get by him there, maybe something like that. All right, and then that neutralized the rebounding. I told you earlier, Arizona's a really good rebounding team, but by Texas Tech spreading the floor, that neutralized that rebounding. They had longer rebounds where, it just didn't rely on the size of the player. Your guards can get in there and rebound a little bit more and stuff like that. And then Texas Tech ended up winning in overtime, So, and we've had to play some games in overtime. So that would be nothing new to us, to Arkansas. Arkansas's been in a lot of these dog fights, these tough games. So, hey, they definitely would be okay with it. We want to beat them by 20, of course, but we wouldn't be upset if we had to go to overtime, of course. Now, here's my final prediction, okay? And I started to put Arkansas scoring more, but I said Arkansas is going to score 88. Arizona does have a tough defense. You can't always just run the floor. They're going to force us to stand in there and play half court, which we can do that. And I did want to say something else. What was that? I was going to talk about them trying to play, taking turns. Where did I talk about that? I thought I put that in there. Where did I put that at? I know I did. Did I not save that? I've been working on this all day. But anyway, I just talked about, we don't want to be, like I put right here. I'll just talk about this. I'll fit it in here. But final predictions, Arkansas 88, Arizona 84. Now, our guards plus our athletic ability, I think, going to give Arizona lots of fits that they're not used to. Okay, they're not used to that. Our athletic ability will give Arizona fits. And I say comment your prediction. But the thing is here, Arizona is one of those teams, like I remember Coach Richardson, Nolan Richardson used to talk about, like Duke. Duke says, you take your turn, then I take my turn, then you take your turn, I take my turns. Nolan, you said, I don't like to take turns. I want it to be my turn every time. And that's what we want Arkansas. That's what Arkansas wants to be now. We don't want to take turns playing half court. You set up your half court, we'll set up our half court, then you set up yours, and we'll set up ours. We don't want to do that, okay? We want it to be our ball all the time. We don't want to take turns. That's what Arizona wants to. So with our athletic ability, our guards that can take over the game, that's how I think we're going to win this thing, okay? We got the better guards. Guards win in March Madness. We've got the two better guards, and we got athletic ability, and I think we're going to take them. I'm saying 88-84. I think it could go 92-86, something like that. That's a really high-scoring game there. First, I was thinking 82-78, but now I'm going 88-84 Arkansas. Go Hogs, right? But anyway, that's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I do think Arkansas is going to get a big win, man. That's what I'm going to be praying for. Sweet 16, man. Again, Coach Cal's doing a great job. We got a great team here. I just hope that, and another thing too, the numbers, Arizona don't play a lot more. They play 8 players too. Arkansas would like to be at 8, but we're really at 7 if you get Pringle in there playing. We're at 6 right now. But anyway, so the numbers not going to hurt us as far as them playing 9 or 10 guys. So we'll have the same group, same number of players playing. So that's a good thing as well. I should have added that in here too. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button and then subscribe to my channel. It'd really help me out a lot. And then click that notification bell. I try to make a video every day, and hopefully I'll be making another one. Maybe tomorrow night. I'll be late tomorrow night. They play tomorrow night, like 8:45, I think, another late one. And so maybe tomorrow night, maybe Friday. I don't know. I have to see. And hopefully we're celebrating that Arkansas win. We beat them 88-84, or maybe even more. But anyway, that is all I got, guys. I don't know how I'm going to be able to stop my video here. My thing I use has changed now. Let me see. Here's my YouTube channel. And this is how I used to do it right here. Something would pop up. Here's some, it's over here maybe. Is that it? How do I pause it now? Right here? I don't know, man. What is going on with this thing? Maybe this is it. Okay, maybe this is it. But anyway, thanks y'all so much for watching and spending time with me. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great day or a great evening whenever you watch this. And as always, go Hogs. Did that stop it? End recording.